Now, once our political reporter Joe Bruno uncovered all of that information, we decided to send him to Bladen County so he could talk to the people named in those affidavits.
Let's bring Joe back now. In the past week, he's tracked down voters, witnesses, and the man at the center of all of this. So take us through, Joe, everything you've learned, and it's a lot of stuff over the past few days.
Yeah, all of those trips to Bladen County were worth it because we learned something huge every single day we were there. Our reporting helped expose how widespread this scandal is.
Bladen County, North Carolina, where there are more water towers and Walmarts and more farmland than development. The county, with a population of 33,000, has captured the attention of millions. On the road and on the ground, for several days, I have been almost everywhere in Bladen County tracking down voters and people directly involved in the scandal.
Were you paying people to pick up ballots?
Our journey in Bladen started last Friday in a Bladen Borough apartment complex named Village Oaks. This is where we met Stacy Holcomb, who waved the first red flag.
I voted, and the lady that asked me if I wanted an absentee ballot, she took it back in.
He said a woman picked up his absentee ballot, an act that is illegal in North Carolina. Who was this woman? He didn't know, but he remembers what she was wearing, a Mark Harris t-shirt.
I think she said something about she was going to vote for him or something. But
he wasn't the only person to claim their ballot was picked up.
Whew.
Emma Shipman told us the same thing.
It made me nervous. It sure did.
Shipman lives in Tar Heel, down an unpaved road in the woods. She never has visitors. Then someone came around to pick up her ballot. It was unsealed and unsigned.
Ain't no telling if she turned it in, what she put on it.
The warning signs were there, but we had more work to do. Over the weekend, a source provided my investigative producer and I with 159 copies of absentee ballot envelopes. On Monday, when we touched back down in Bladen County, we took a deep dive in the data. We discovered 8 people signed the envelopes as witnesses at least 10 times each. 3 people signed more than 40 times. The hard work was just beginning. With a list of names in hand, I went door to door, striking out at Woody Hester, James Singletary, and Lisa Britt's homes.
Hi, I'm Joe from...
Then I met Ginger Eason.
Did McCrae tell you to pick up the ballots?
Yeah, that's what we done.
Ginger Eason's confirmation to Channel 9 that McCrae Dallas paid her and others to pick up absentee ballots blew the door wide open in the election fraud investigation. There was now no doubt McCrae Dallas, working for Mark Harris and Bladen County Sheriff Jim McVicker, was fully implicated in the investigation. She told me she was paid $75 or $100 a week to pick up the ballots. After taking them, she didn't put them in the mail. She gave them to Dallas.
Did all the people who voted, did their votes count?
I guess. Like I said, I don't know nothing what happened after I dropped them off. I don't know.
Up until that point, attempts to reach the man in question were unsuccessful. After a 4th visit to his house, Dallas finally surfaced. He was tight-lipped.
This time I have no comment. Have a great day.
We didn't stop there. The next day, we circled back to Singletary and Britt's residences. Still no answer. Woody Hester threatened to call the cops on me, but Cheryl Kinlaw was ready to tell her story.
Either way,
Did McCrae tell you what you were doing was illegal?
No, we had no clue. We thought we had seen him do it for years.
Like Eason, Kinlaw told me she was paid to pick up ballots. She says she was also told to promote Mark Harris and Sheriff Jim McVicker.
He said kind of boost them whenever you're talking to people. And I tell people, vote for who you think's right. But he was more like, you need to get Mark Harris in here and you need to get McVicker in here.
Kinlaw told me Dallas had stacks of ballots on a desk in his office in this brick building on NC 410 Highway. When we stopped by, we discovered a Mark Harris bumper sticker on the front door.
Came down and showed me a paper.
On Wednesday, we met Datisha Montgomery. She signed a sworn affidavit saying she filled out only 2 races on her ballot, and when a woman came by to pick it up, she said she would take care of it.
I signed it. She said the rest wasn't important. She would fill it out the rest. And it never got sealed in front of me. She said she would seal it and bring it back to me showing that it was sealed. She never brought it back. Don't know what she did with it.
She told me the woman who picked up her ballot was Lisa Britt.
That's her, right there.
You may remember she signed as a witness for more than 40 ballots. Britt agreed to an interview with me, but never showed up. But she did confirm to me she spoke to state investigators for hours. And outside of her mother's apartment, we were there as those investigators left after talking to her.
If you've been near TV or on Twitter, you probably recognize this man right here, Dr. Michael Bitzer, political expert. We've been working together for about 4.5 years. A lot of people across the country are witnessing North Carolina election shenanigans for the first time.
Right.
But has anything like this across the country really ever happened before?
Across the country, we have certainly had contested elections. We have had elections where the seat, either a U.S. Senate or a U.S. House seat, has been left open because of controversy. But here in North Carolina, there is nothing in modern history at this scale and at this level that this compares to.
Now, the next step in all this is the evidentiary hearing. I have learned that that date for that hearing is going to be announced tomorrow. Can you tell us what we can expect from that hearing? Is it going to be sort of like a trial?
I think it will be more of a presentation of here are the facts and what we know, we believe happened. I think they will present evidence, they will present testimony from the people that they have talked to, and really this is more, while it will be maybe open to the public, it will be much more to the 9 members of the State Board of Elections, 5 of whom, if they decide, could call a new election for this 9th congressional district.
That's an important point you make, but according to state law, there doesn't have to be more fraud than the margin of victory. But how will the state board kind of determine whether that threshold has been met? It seems like it's not an easy decision for them to say, we need to order a new election.
I think the key word is, does this activity taint the overall results of the entire election? Whatever 5 members decide is taint is going to be the deciding factor in my view.
And then no matter what the state decides, the U.S. House, of course,
the U.S. House can always also supersede as well.
Well, Dr. Bitzer, thank you so much for your analysis.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. And we have much more in the District 9 investigation throughout the next hour.
We are following the money